Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Money Monday. It's May 25th and it's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. As of right now, we have 51 participants on the line. Please make sure that you reach out to your team. We don't want any ICMs left behind. Today, we are so fortunate to get to hear from Michael Huggins. Michael Huggins, before Renatus, he was drowning in student loan debt and frustrated that it wasn't going anywhere after making all of his payments and realizing that the balance hadn't really changed much. He had just paying all of that towards interest. That was very frustrating. At the time, he was living in his girlfriend's mother's basement, and that was Vanessa at the time. He was riding his brother's bicycle to work. He couldn't afford a bike or a car to get to work. Working at both Jiffy Lube and Sears Auto, Michael was very frustrated and not really getting anywhere. He realized that real estate investing would be an interesting and profitable venue. So he learned about real estate investing, and I'm so grateful that Michael found Renatus because a lot of us wouldn't be here today if he had not. Michael has since become the #1 and #2 income earner, depending on the year. And he has just done incredible things at this company. He's built teams across the nation, and he travels across the nation to help us as he has so much experience and he loves to share that with his teams. He has earned himself multiple 7 figures doing this business, and we truly are very fortunate to get to learn from Michael this morning. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Keely, and good morning, Renatus Nation. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And it is Memorial Day, and some people take the day off, other people don't. I figured, hey, I bet about half of these folks are still gonna show up. So if they're gonna show up, I'm gonna show up. So I also wanted to just quickly bring this up. This is from last Monday when we had Mr. Troy Dunn on the line, and he talked about our international expansion efforts. And everywhere else in the world, it's not Memorial Day. They're still working. They're still doing business stuff. So, you can try to take a day off, but that's not real. In the kind of game that we're playing, pursuing goals, pursuing passions, building our lifestyle, making a difference on the planet, you can't take a day off. Bob Marley was once asked, why he doesn't take a day off. And he said, because the people trying to stop him never take a day off, he's not going to take a day off. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but no days off, right? Just another opportunity to make a difference in someone else's life, make some money, go have fun, walk around barefoot. In case you guys aren't doing that, here's something we could do for Memorial Day. Remember that we need to be spending more time walking outside. Okay, international expansion. So remember, what Renatus offers through the Profits course is mindset, skill set, tool set. And then the thing that Troy said next was the 4 C's, and the first one is contacts. So remember to be transparent when you're calling people, and then be asking yourself, where do I already know folks? And then that's going to be the start of my hub. I mean, that's one reason why Renatus Denver was on the map, is because I knew someone in Denver. Not because I just thought Denver would be cool to go to, but because I actually knew someone there. And then, he also said, who else, not just who do you know there, but who do you know that has a company there would be even better. But obviously anybody you start talking to. And then they can point you in the right direction to others that might be interested in what we have to offer. Next is going to be connections. The next C is connections. He said, be intentional with your connections. Do it where you enjoy going, right? Which actually lines up with what Mark Kohler was saying too, with your tax strategies. And then utilizing LinkedIn, because this is a more professional setting. The connections can get you spread a lot faster. YouTube is one way, Facebook's one way, but they don't spread through connections the way LinkedIn does. So connections is the second C. Third C is community. Now this is where we bring up Facebook, because you can be involved in groups. Decide where you want to be involved in these groups. Troy was saying he is an active part in 39 groups. And if you remember from your social media success classes, Rob Sperry talks about, don't be a part of scroll patrol. Don't be a part of the people who just go on Facebook to scroll, but don't ever add anything, don't ever comment. You got to be engaging. You got to make your posts, reply to the posts, answer people's questions inside of groups, make the comments, congratulate people, and build up your community. Okay, especially in the places that you want to be. If you want to be in New Zealand, or you want to be in Australia, or you want to be in Ireland, or you want to be in France, it doesn't matter where. You need to decide and start joining those groups and getting engaged. And then inside of the comments, people have, let me be clear on this. People have a consumer mindset. You must have a producer mindset. Because people have a consumer mindset, what you put out there is going to be consumed. So key is to just put it out there. Whether it's short videos, long videos. Some people say that folks don't have attention spans and you need 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But if you go look at podcasts like what Joe Rogan offers, that dude has 2-hour, 3-hour podcasts that get 1 million, 2 million views in a day. So it's just that it needs to be engaging content, right? If you have not so engaging content, then sure, 5 minutes, that's all you get. But if what you're doing is relevant, impactful, important, entertaining, engaging, thought-provoking, you can go for hours and hours and hours. Okay, and then just a quick reminder at the top here, watch your classes. Watch your classes, become a product of the product. We got this downtime in some aspects, in other aspects we don't. But watch your classes. I'm watching mine. I'm watching 20 hours a week of class. It's in between changing poopy diapers and giving baths and burping babies and cooking for Vanessa and doing the fun stuff. It was funny. Actually, I for the first 2 weeks that baby Benjamin was here, I totally forgot that I had a dog. And Rupert was still getting fed, but I didn't walk him. I wasn't doing the training. I wasn't playing with him. I was playing with my baby. So it was funny. Now I'm getting back into the routine with Rupert. Okay, there's one last thing I want to go over. Well, actually, you know what? Before I do that, are there any questions? Those of you who showed up, right? You showed up, you meant it, you're serious. Let's take some time and answer questions that you have.
I have a quick question, Michael. Could you put that back on the screen so I could get a quick screenshot?
Ada, sure thing.
Thank you.
Right there. Cool. Okay. Any questions in the chat here? Good morning. Okay, questions, comments, ideas. Clarifications. Anything I can help clarify for you all?
Michael,
Yes. What's up, Joey?
this is Keely, not Joey.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
I would
well,
love for
yeah,
Joey to go ahead
I'm
and speak.
waiting. I'm waiting, Michael. I'm trying to see if I can get on. Okay.
oh, okay. What's up, Keely?
I I think it's past due time for me to start a team call. Could you talk about when you first started doing your team calls?
Sure. Okay. So, growth opportunity. We got ourselves a growth opportunity here. So, people, there's a couple of reasons why you should do a team call. One thing you got to remember is that people buy from people they like and trust. So if you have a bunch of people who have an essentials and you want them to buy combos from you, then you got to do things to make sure that they like you and trust you. So, team call. Here's one reason: you get to create more trust. When people trust you, they'll buy from you. And then also in this world, or bring you customers, which is also something we really, really like. So creating some trust. The second thing is that it will help you master the content. When you learn to teach versus learning to learn, it sticks in your brain in a different way. So if you want to get better at following up, or you want to get better at writing ads, you want to get better at handling objections, start training on it. Because that training is going to be forcing you to master this content so that you can then go out there and share it with people. The third thing is rhythm. Rhythm. Did I spell that right? No.
I think the H is first. I totally could be wrong. No, that
Rhythm.
does not look right either.
Rhyme. I think that's rhythm. We'll go with that for now. Somebody Google it and let me know. Auto correct in your text something. Okay, it creates a rhythm, which a rhythm also creates trust. When people know that you're going to be there for them, it also creates trust, creates proper habits, creates accountability. Okay. And then I guess the fourth one is the growth, how you grow as a person, and then being able to grow your people. Right? Jim Rohn has this interesting phrase where he's talking to someone who's like, yeah, I want a big team. I want a big team. I want thousands of people on my team. And what he says is, look, if you have a small team, which is, at some point you're starting out, you're going to have a small team. If you have a small team and you want a big team, you have to be so good with your small team that you know everyone. Not only that, but you know their birthday, you know their kids' names, you know their spouse's name, you know their hobbies, you know their fears, you know their strengths. If you really want to have a big team, then when your team is small, you need to know these things. He says this. He says you even need to know what they had for breakfast. If you really want a big team, you need to know your small team. So this is another good reason to do it. If you know what they had for breakfast, and you know what they're thinking, and you know their fears, and you know their schedules, and you know their goals and their appetites, schedules, goals, appetite for life, not just for food.
He's like, we're going.
We're going. That's right, Doug. Keep it going. It's a beautiful day outside. Keep it
Sorry,
going. All
everybody.
right.
Didn't realize that was on mute.
No worries, man. No worries. Okay. So here's the reasons why to do it. And then the structure. So what's worked for me, ooh, that's bold. The structure, when I first started out, it was just my team. And it made it easy, again, to track all these small team things that we're saying. But the structure is I wanted to make sure that people were going to look forward to being on. So it was 30 minutes. And then I realized, well, what the hell am I going to talk about for 30 minutes, right? Like, we have our 10-step training, we got, Super Saturdays, we got all these things. What the hell am I going to say for 30 minutes? So what I started doing was I would share my aha moments for the week. But then I started getting more participation. So I would get folks to start talking. Be like, I would just call people out because I knew who was on my call. So I'd call them out and then find out what their goals are, their schedule, what they had for breakfast. And it was literally just doing exactly what Jim was saying. It started to get to know them better. And then, one thing that I learned about their goals is they all wanted to talk about real estate. So I said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll do 30 minutes of marketing, and then we'll do 30 minutes of real estate. And I want you to be on both. So I experimented and I did the marketing first, and then I would see who'd show up to the real estate. And then guess what I would do? I'd call them out. I say, you said you had marketing goals. You told me that, but you missed the marketing portion of what we were doing. Okay, so that's part of the structure. And then I did mine right before the founders webinar, because I wanted them to also watch the founders webinar and just say, hey, look, Mondays we're talking. Monday, we're talking. And so it depends on your time zone. Maybe you do it before, maybe you do it after. And now founders webinar is at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So do it before, do it after, I don't care. The other thing is that, if you're considering it, you might do it before or after the coaching call on Tuesdays with Gavin McCaleb. Something else to be thinking about, because you want them to be participating in that too. It's so interesting how many calls I get throughout the week of people going, Michael, I need help with real estate. And then I just go, well, did you hop on the weekly call? And they're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. And then they call me a few days later and they're like, this is awesome. Thank you so much for reminding me. So make sure all your people know about the coaching call Tuesdays. Tuesdays, just so you remember, it's called renatuswebinar.com. renatuswebinar.com. Now that's for members only. Don't be giving that to your guests. And then before Zoom was a thing, I used freeconferencecall.com. And then I could mute and unmute people. Before that, I would just do it. I would do a chain of three-way calls. I would call Christian, and then I would call Nick, and then I would call Tim, and I would call Paul, and I would just do this silly chain reaction of three-way calls. And then I got freeconferencecall.com. But now, obviously, we got Zoom. So, or it's not zoom.com. That's silly. Zoom.us. And so for all these reasons of trust, mastering the content, creating rhythm, and then growth of my people, I really look forward to it. For over a year, right before, you have your music playing before it starts. For over a year, I only had one song that I would play. That was it. One song. And if you still remember, I bet Amanda Miller still remembers, is Eye of the Tiger.
Yep, I remember. It's awesome. I still love it.
Yeah, and it would just get us all in the mood. And we just knew, team call's about to start. And
I'm still humming that.
Nice. Following along. It's a beautiful thing. So that just created some more structure, created that rhythm that I was talking about, just that one song. And then I realized, after a while I needed to, as the team grew, repeating myself would be important because there were new people on the line. And so I would just rotate it out. We had the 4 money-making activities. So I'd do one a week, focusing on that. Then talk about, vision boards and goal setting for that week. And then we would do onboarding, just making sure people understood the system. And then we'd go right back to 4 money-making activities. And we would just get better at the basics. Remember, Bruce Lee has a quote. He says, I'm not afraid of the person who knows 1,000 punches. He says, I'm afraid of the person who does one punch 1,000 times. And I doubt Bruce Lee was ever really afraid. But that maybe he was telling us, don't be fearful of the person who knows 1,000 punches. Be fearful of the person who does one punch 1,000 times. And so that's what this is right here. It's 4 money-making activities. We're just doing that one punch 1,000 times, getting better at it and better and better. So that's team call structure. There you go. All right, I'm going to take Joey's question, and then we're going to wrap it up because today we're just doing a little bit shorter one. So, all right, Joey.
Can you hear me?
Hear it.
Can you hear me?
Clear.
Can you hear
Go
me
for
now?
it. Yep.
Okay. Hey, I've been sort of thinking about something you said a few times over, the last few years. It took you 4 years to break $30,000, $30,000 a year. Was it?
It was my 3rd year.
Oh, your 3rd year you broke 30,000.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it? Was it because you put 10,000 hours in? Was it an epiphany of something? What was the thing that, took you from 30,000 to infinity and beyond?
Here's the key. Clean up the subconscious mind. Okay. Stand guard at the door of your mind. What I mean by stand guard is you don't allow people to say negativity at all, none whatsoever. If they're talking negativity, I literally plug my ears. I am standing guard. I don't want anything to go in. Our subconscious mind records everything. It records it all. And so I turned off the news. I stopped listening to people. Like seriously, I stopped listening to people because they don't have anything good to say. I cleaned up my subconscious mind. I stood guard. I did not let anyone say can't around me. I would say, sorry, my subconscious mind is unable to refuse information, right? That's another way of saying records everything. Unable to refuse information. So please rephrase that. And I would insist that people rephrase their shit, even when they were guests, right? Customers, clients. Please rephrase that because for your subconscious mind and for mine, that needs to be rephrased. Saying can't, saying won't, complaining, justifying, blaming. No, none of that crap. And I just read Think and Grow Rich over and over, stood guard at the door of my mind. I changed what kind of music I listened to because it was super important. You know, when you're listening to music, you're in what's called a peak state or a hypnotic state, and you're even more suggestible and more information goes in. And so just making sure that all that stuff is cleaned up. Hold on one second. My laptop's about to die. Stand by, everybody. Stand guard, everybody. Oh, thank goodness. Got my power cord right here. Bing. Okay. So clean up the subconscious mind with people. I stopped hanging around people that were smoking pot and drinking alcohol every day. Music, no more news or TV, right? I cleaned up, visually what I saw. I put up a vision board. In my house, right? Here's my living room wall, and I'm standing at my living room wall, and I got a big ass Sharpie, and I would write out affirmations on my wall. You know why? Because it's my wall. And my mom said, don't write on the walls, but it's my wall. I'm going to write on the walls. And I would write affirmations, and then I'd put them on every wall in certain rooms, not posters, because posters can be taken off. Posters are temporary. When I was writing it with the big, fat, mega Sharpie, you had to be intentional about the words. I would even write them on my ceiling. So when I'd lay down in my bed, I also put my weight bench in the living room, and I would write on the ceiling on top of my weight bench what I wanted to do. Your subconscious mind, since it's unable to refuse information, when you put stuff in, it goes in. But if you keep mixing it up with the mucky muck of other negativity, then you're diluting it. And so I didn't want to dilute it. I wanted it concentrated. And I just, and if people refused to rephrase it, then I would stop spending time with them. But part of it is literally plugging your ears if you don't want to hear something. I needed a new identity, and so as I was working on that, I would also do a ton of affirmations, again, because it's unable to refuse information. If you do your affirmations and then you follow through, as in you don't contradict yourself and you don't do stupid affirmations that you can't prove, right? Like affirmations, follow through with action. Tony Robbins talks about people who do affirmations in a silly, in a somewhat self-sabotaging way. For example, if you go out to your garden and you chant, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. Those kind of affirmations aren't going to work for you, and it will actually wear down your self-confidence because you're lying. So instead of saying, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, because I wasn't, I was eating top ramen. Right? My affirmations started out with my health. Every cell in my body is healthy. every cell in my body is well. And I started feeling better. Because I'm feeling better, I'm starting to do better. And then the next affirmation that was something that might, your brain doesn't reject was day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And start to just sing a song and snap my finger to it day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. And that way, my subconscious mind can't argue with me on that. Where if I was trying to say, I'm a millionaire and there's no weeds, right? That little voice goes, who are you kidding? But, with day by day in every way, and every cell in my body is healthy, every cell in my body is well, there's no argument for my subconscious mind with those. And then I just started adding more and more on. My life improves as I lead others. Right? So, and then making sure you're not contradicting yourself. You want to lead others, you answer your damn phone when people call. Right? The universe gave them your phone number. So they called you. You can't look at it as, oh man, now's not a good time. It's a holiday, it's an evening, it's a night, it's too early, blah, 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 blah. If you really believe that your life improves as you lead others, you'll answer the phone in the shower. You'll answer the phone on the toilet. Right? You will just answer. Now, it might be a quick phone call. Hey, I'm walking the dog, hands are full. What's up? Okay, let me call you back. But you want to make sure that when you follow through, you clean up. When I say clean up, that also means remove, right? Clean up the contradictions. So when I was doing this, every cell in my body is healthy, every cell in my body is well, I was eating vegetables every day. I stopped drinking alcohol every day, maybe once or twice a month, celebratory kind of thing, friend's birthday party, whatever. And day by day and every way I'm getting better and better. I was watching my classes every day so that I could make sure that there was no contradiction. Because if I'm watching classes, I'm reading books, I am getting better day by day in every way. And then my life improves as I lead others. I got obsessed with John C. Maxwell and his little phrases and his little way of just helping people and studying people. And it really helped me to be patient with people. So this is the answer, Joey. This is it. And then the rest was the how, right? This was the what, and the rest is the how. What can I help clarify your understanding of on this topic?
Okay, so no, this was extremely good. This was extremely good. I'm actually reading a book on karmic management right now. It's a follow-up to a book called The Diamond Cutter, which was the first book written by the Buddha and stuff. And what he says in there is what is planting seeds. This was by a guy named Michael Geshe, who was the first American to be a certified turf, all this stuff, right? But he says it's the seeds that you plant in your subconscious. If you plant good seeds, you're going to grow good flowers. You put bad seeds, you'll get weeds and stuff. All right, that's good. Now the how is, okay, this was good, excellent. It was excellent, Michael. But then when you shifted gears, I mean, that's when you started the team call. What was it, the specific, like the top 3 actions that you took once you came to this realization after 3 years?
Well, the thing, Joy, is the actions weren't different from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. I was showing up to every meeting. I was bringing as many guests as possible. I was listening in conversations for an opportunity to invite and be a problem solver. I showed up to Super Saturdays. I watched the calls. Nothing changed in my actions, right? what do they say? Success is, it's mostly in your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so because I was cleaning up what was in my head, I was able to start to capitalize on my actions. My actions didn't change. So if you're not showing up to every webinar that you can, if you're not inviting, you can't control people showing up, but you can control how many freaking invites you put out there. And I was inviting, you do some simple math. If you just do 3 a day, that's 1,000 a year,
Okay.
So the actions didn't change, and they haven't changed now. When you watch the 10-step training, there's nothing else more to do. I mean, you can refine things, you can get a little bit better, but the action steps is just still promote. We're promoting a business, we're promoting a business, we're promoting a business. What do you do all day? I'm promoting a business. And I'm having fun and promoting. I'm eating food and promoting. I'm learning and promoting. I'm engaging and promoting. But it's all promotion. That word is important, promotion. I started wearing t-shirts. I would make my own t-shirts. So I just thought about that. That's a way to promote. I would give my teams t-shirts. When I saw them, we would do barbecues and stuff. Like, you know what? Here's a bunch of shirts. And then we would see each other in these shirts, and these shirts would just, guess what was on the friggin' shirts? The 4 money-making activities. Seriously, that's what was on the shirts. Okay, the shirt would say, do you even find the people? That's what they said, dude. And I would just, do you even tell the story? Do you even build for events? Do you even follow up? And I gave hundreds of these shirts away. And so, and I'd start wearing them everywhere, and I'd see myself in the mirror, and I would remind myself. And because I would see myself in the mirror, that reflection would go back into my subconscious mind because it's unable to refuse information. And it just got into the mode of, this is just what we do. We promote a business, we promote a business, we promote a business. This is the best compensation plan, the best education, the best community, the best environment for learning, the best people. Is there lots of they say no? And I just leveraged the fact, some people hate that their subconscious mind records everything. Some people think it's a burden. Well, I just went, oh shit, this is a hack. This is leverage. This is I can make up for lost time because it's recording everything. And so every image, every conversation had to do with promotion of this business, because if I promoted it correctly, I'd get $10,000 checks, and I only needed to sign up 4 people in 1 year to break my 30 grand, right? And then because I was starting to do team calls and creating more trust, then people would bring me customers. They would buy more from me. They would bring me customers. And then I started just doubling up. Then I went from 30 to 56 to 86 to 192 to 360 to 595 to 760. It just kept going.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. It was excellent.
Okay. Promote. That's the name of the game.
Michael, hi. This is Sandra in South Florida. I hope you have a couple more minutes for me.
I do, Sandra. I just looked at the time and I went, I'm not ending this early. What's up?
Thank you. Thank you. I have a gentleman I've been working with up in the panhandle of Florida who's on the brink of becoming either an ICM, an essentials holder, or a profits holder. He's not sure yet, which is fine. But last night he said, I want to get a bunch of people together in a couple of weeks and have you do a presentation so we can introduce them to this whole fabulous company because it is amazing. And the first thing I thought was, wow, that's great. He's already thinking of promotion. And the second thing that crossed my mind was, oh my goodness, on Zoom, what the heck am I going to show them? So since we're having this call today and I have no one on my team, I have, I'm only a three, well, I'm not going to say only, sorry. I'm a 3-star. And
Woohoo.
I've been in for a year and a half, and I am EPX, so I have access to everything. And I'm trying to figure out how I could put together a short something that could pique their curiosity enough to get them on webinars without spilling all the beans.
No, you be the bean spiller, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to create more steps than necessary. All right, you
Okay.
got a customer who's now going to become a fan, and he's going to bring you a bunch of people. He's the one that's pointing.
Right.
He's saying, "Hey, go over here," and here you are. We don't need to point these people to you so that you can point them to a webinar. That's just stupid.
Okay.
Too many steps, okay?
Got it.
So you are now going to just find the PowerPoints in Helios and deliver them. That's it.
Okay.
Just click through. You know, you can watch the recordings of the ones that we've done and practice a little bit if you want, but the PowerPoints are already made. You just take the first picture out and put your picture up, and then you say, hey, welcome to our community. Let me give you a rundown of who we are, what we do, why we're so successful. You know, it's great that this person thought of you enough to invite you to this workshop. We've taken some time to make it clear for you on who we are and what we offer. You know, and then make sure you stick to the time. You said, hey, this is going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. I would probably give myself at least 45 minutes to an hour to go over it. Make sure also that in this guy's pointing that he sets proper expectations. Meaning, some people say, yeah, it's going to be a quick call. It's going to be a quick call. And some people interpret quick as 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Other people interpret quick as an hour. So proper expectation, be clear. It's going to be 1 hour. It's going to be at this time to this time. I'm going to open up for questions at the end. So setting proper expectations, right? Making sure he knows that this isn't a job. You know, just got to be clear too. Setting proper expectations that this is around real estate investing, or if you're doing profits, then it's around entrepreneurship.
So I'll give you the scenario of who the person is that he wants to spearhead this meeting. He apparently is a football coach at a high school. School is just over. A lot of young people have just graduated. He's thinking, in his mind, he's thinking the way the economy is now, maybe these young people would rather get involved in real estate than trying to figure out how to end up paying for expensive college education that will get them into student debt. So he's thinking out of the box and thinking, you know, maybe a parent and a child would end up coming together as a learning partner team and
Perfect.
start building a real estate business. So
Yep.
this particular gentleman is probably in his 60s, and he's been doing remodeling all his life. He's tired of slinging a hammer, makes me think of Bob Tierney, and he wants to create a different kind of business. So that's the conversation we're having on, you know, does he, you know, run around in his truck with signs on the side to get people excited about contacting him, like Scott's Lambo story, because he saw that in Scott's intro and he thought, wow, this could be brilliant. People could be calling me and I could be inviting them and I could be showing them. And, you know, so I'm trying to wrap my head around this because this is the most excited person I've talked to in a year and a half. I have up till now not been successful in getting ICMs on board. So I'm believing that his path is more than likely going to, I don't know if he's going to want to be an ICM first or if he's excited now about profits. He wants to build his own business and be able to be a real businessman, and so I hold my tongue trying not to say, well, if it were me, I would, you know, because I want him to make the decision. It's his choice. And so I'm struggling with that. Any suggestions?
I would make the 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 PowerPoint, the effort, the time, the energy that you're going to put into doing that, I would make it conditional upon him buying something. Say if you're going to do essentials, great. You can do profits, great. Or you can do both, great. I don't care. But ICM only, no. If you're going to be
Okay.
ICM only, I will send you webinar links, and you can go and use webinar links. But if
Okay.
you want me to, specifically take my time, which is my most valuable currency, to help you,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you help yourself
Mm-hmm.
by getting some training.
Mm-hmm.
It will also be a lot easier to set proper expectations if you have the education, and you can speak at the end of the webinar, and I can ask you what you liked about it and what you're going through and how it's impacted your life. And get a sale out of it. It's $5,000 for him to get the essentials and the profits together. If he wants to do billing, it's $1,200 down. No,
Yeah,
not 1,200. It's 1,000.
I don't know. He can't really do that right now. He was first nervous even about essentials, and then last night he was talking about profits. So he's jumping from a couple $100 down to $400 down to $600 down, and a bigger payment. So I don't. It'll be one or the other. I don't think he can do both at this point. But then again, you never know.
Well, I would have him do the essentials then, if he's only going to do one, because one, he's already in that mode. If he has that construction background and blah blah blah, and then it'll be easier to upgrade him because he'll fall in love with the real estate training.
Oh yeah, he already thinks that's brilliant. So I'm not. Yeah.
Well,
I think he fell in love. I think he fell in love with Troy Dunn because he's definitely a relator, and he thought that Eric was so cool with the automation. He sat through the 2.5 hour profits intro that Scott did for the first time last week with three of the instructors on, and that's why I think he's all excited about profits. And I don't. Yeah. But
I tell them both. Don't create limits. Say it's $1,000, dude. Let's get it going. It's $1,000, and it's going to be $275 a month. Figure it out. If you make some sales, you get your money back. You're 60 years old. Quit wasting time. Go sell something. If you really need to get $1,000, right? Go ask your son or daughter or your neighbor for $1,000. I'm starting a business, son. I brought you into this world. Give me $1,000. Damn it. Right?
I got it. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, that'll be a conversation I'll have Wednesday for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Make it happen. Put his order in.
Okay.
And insist that be a step towards you helping him, because if he's in and he believes it enough to buy it, then that belief is going to transfer when he starts inviting people.
Okay, that makes perfectly good sense. Thank you, Michael. That was brilliant. I really appreciate it.
Okay, you betcha. Thanks for participating, everyone. Keely, Joey, Amanda. Thanks, everybody, for being here and, showing up. Sandra, we don't have to always show up. It's a quote-unquote holiday.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, what's up? Got time for one more question. What's up?
Okay, real just real quick. Are you going to be updating the PowerPoint?
Can't hear you.
Thank you, Michael.
Say it again.
Are you going to be updating your PowerPoints on Helios?
No, I can't hear you. You sound like you're in a microwave.
Oh, really? Okay.
Can you hear Keely?
No, she's not really coming through, just barely.
Okay. Hello? Is that better?
No, but speak slowly and maybe I can hear it.
Okay. Yeah, what I was wondering is, are you going to update like the PowerPoints on?
Yeah, I'm getting like every fifth word. It's not working.
Do you want to type it in the chat, Gilda?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and type it.
Hey, Michael.
Steven, what's up?
What's up, bud? Real quick, are you hosting Thursday night intros over the next couple weeks?
Mr. Dane Clark will be doing that.
Okay. Very good.
Have you seen
Thanks.
any of his presentations?
I briefly watched one, recorded one from him doing it in a hotel or something, office space, and I didn't watch it all the way through, but I'm sure he's got it.
Yeah, I get good feedback from him. He replaced me in Salt Lake City when I started spending more time in Denver. He was doing the follow-up. Well, when I was in Salt Lake doing the intro, he was doing the follow-up in Salt Lake. And then when I spent more time in Denver, he went from the follow-up to the intro. And we really didn't see a dip in sales. The community kept growing. I rarely saw his presentations, but I saw the results of his presentations. So that's why I asked him to do
Right.
it online.
All right, very good. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Okay, checking the chat. Are you going to update your PowerPoints in Helios? Oh, that's a good question. That's not necessarily up to me, but I will make a note of it and talk to corporate about that and get some adjustments going on. That's a good point. It's kind of old. They are updatable also. Like, so if you want to modify it for yourself, like what I was just telling Sandra, you know, download it, change what you need to change. But yeah, it's definitely time, isn't it?
Forgive my ignorance. I didn't know you could change people's PowerPoints.
Yeah, you definitely can. If you download it instead of just playing it through the player, just download it onto your computer and it's yours forever. Should we go through that real quick?
That would be awesome.
I'm hearing it in your voice. We should probably do that.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Okay, so nothing's updated now. So that's it. I might just use updated. Yeah.
So here we are in Helios. Come down to marketing. Come down to presentations. And if you just type in Michael, there's some PowerPoints for you. Click on download right here. You see on the bottom here, it's downloading. So when it's done downloading, I have it forever. And I can modify the slides if I need to. And when I say modify, like some of the slides are like fixed images, like of the education, no big deal. But other things, if you want to like hide certain portions, you know, say you only got 30 minutes and you're going to hide the Henry Ford story. You're going to hide a couple extra slides so you can get through it faster. So that's mine. You can also type in Richards and get Richard Stocks. Richard, why does he only have one in there? Type in Scott. Scott's got 3 in there. So you can download those. So there you go. It's right over here.
Well, I guess I have some more technological homework, and I thank you.
Hey, day by day in every way. You're getting better and better. Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Melissa. Baby Benjamin's doing happy and healthy. He's already gained 1.25 pounds in 14 days and getting into a rhythm. Everything's going well. Mama's happy, eating well. He's eating well. By the way, breastfeeding, it's fantastic. The poops that he has, I don't know, this is just a side note. They don't stink. That's amazing. I heard people tell all these crazy, awful stories about the diapers. So I was getting all prepared for that. And then turns out that's only for formula-fed babies. Do the diapers actually really stink? So I was like, oh, okay. How can I support Vanessa more in this breastfeeding stuff? So she's doing amazing with it. And what an interesting world we live in, right? So grateful. So grateful. All right, well, download these trainings, watch your classes, get obsessed with it. Watch them on double speed with the captions. Pay attention. Some of you are like, oh, I have a hard time focusing. It's because you're watching the classes on one speed. If you double the speed, you have to pay attention to get it. So double up, try it. I think it'll help you focus, right? If you're going 5 miles an hour in a parking lot, an empty parking lot, what else can you do while you're driving? You can talk, you can eat, a tomato sandwich. You could do so many
Algunos ahí de
things.
mi grupo, so vamos a ver. Y otros lo hago también para la comunidad completa, sean de mi grupo o no.
Despacio, por favor. Or not. All right, getting back to my analogy on focus, and then we're out of here. If you're going slow, let's say imagine you're in your car and you're driving slow. What else can you do? You can read the signs on the billboards. You can have a conversation with the person next to you. You could be eating. You could be texting. You shouldn't text and drive, but you could if you're going 5 miles an hour. But what if you were going 200 miles an hour? Would you be reading any signs on the side of the road? Would you be talking to the person in your car? You would turn the radio off. You wouldn't have your phone near you. You wouldn't be eating. The faster you're going, the more focus it takes. So if you're having a hard time focusing on your classes, speed them up. It will force you to focus. Does that make sense? Good. All right, everybody. Keely, you're gonna have to end this call because mine just says leave here. But thanks everyone for being here, for showing up, paying attention. At one point we had 76 folks on the line for a holiday. That's awesome. Shows your dedication. You're bending the universe to your will. Remember what we talked about with your subconscious mind and our international expansion and doing your team calls and closing people. You got this. It's Money Monday. Go make a difference for somebody. And we'll catch up with you guys soon. Take care.